What's up, everybody?
What's good, everybody?
We got brother Tony here and Mama Alex, and we're gonna talk about the creator. So both of us saw it at the movie theater.
Yeah,
I
just saw
saw
it
it.
2 days ago.
It was. What'd you think about it, Tony?
I thought it was, man, I'm telling you, initially, and I still do, I thought it was a good movie. Um, it puzzled me at how simplistic it really was because, like I said, I went into the movie expecting it to be something where that was a little more, turns and hoops and hurdles or whatever to go through to figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
But as I'm watching the movie and stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, okay, this movie is pretty simple, and they made a great movie. They made a good movie by being very simple. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like the cinematography and stuff like that, and the CGI things they use. I thought that was top of the line. I
yeah.
thought that was good, and I do think it rivaled, a lot of stuff like that we see from James Cameron or Ridley Scott. Yeah, I definitely think it rivaled that. So I think it surpassed Steven Spielberg's. You know what I'm saying? I thought it did a damn good job. The guy who did Rogue One, apparently he was the one working on this. And once again, like I said, he put out a great movie. He really did. Those are my pros to it. You know what? Now again, what I'm saying, I think we share the same sentiment on this. And like, what was your pros to it?
My pros was it was the camera work was awesome. The world building was brilliant. It really brought you into a world of wonder and
Yeah,
well, more of a chaotic wonder.
yeah,
Because the whole thing started with the atomic bomb, what they said the robots did, which turned out to be a lie. But I thought the movie was I thought it was a good movie that refused to be great.
yeah,
And we'll
yeah,
talk about
absolutely.
movies about we think it's refused to be great. But
Oh yeah,
I mean, I like David. Is it David Washington?
yeah.
I
Denzel
like.
Washington's son, David.
Yeah, David was brilliant. He made the movie as good as it could get as far as that. The actors was good. The
Yeah.
AI acting was good as far as the computers and the artificial intelligence and that. Uh, and like everybody saying, what they did with that budget was brilliant.
$80 million to do that when we do see a lot of productions, spending, what, 250 million, 300 million for movies that don't look nearly as good.
Because how much did they
I,
use on the Flash?
whoo, I think on the Flash, wasn't it about in the 200 million range, if
I
I'm
think
not
it was.
mistaken?
I think
You
it was
know,
for that thing to come out when people felt unfinished, unpolished.
yeah, it
This movie
was.
was polished. You know.
This movie was very polished. It was, like I said, it was very polished, had great acting,
Yeah.
but I do agree it missed marks in order to be great.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I think, you know, I thought for a movie like I've said it before, this was such a good movie. It needed an extra 25 to 30 minutes. I
Yeah.
think that it did. I think that it did need an extra 25 to 30 minutes because, like I said, this movie was so simplistic. I was going into it thinking I'm going to get a damn Tenet type movie, as
Yeah.
far as making you think.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a whole lot of that to this movie. It was very simple, and being simple is not a bad thing. Like I said before, being simple ain't bad at all, man. They did a good job, but definitely refuses to be great.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh, and I think the thing now for me, because it's what we kind of do. Because I don't, because it's not about it's about how you use your time. As for me, who
yeah,
fancy myself as a sort of writer, just there's some things that I would have definitely rewritten. Uh, and there was something that was so linear in it that it was just it stifled the movie. You
yeah,
know, my biggest piece was the quote unquote secret weapon. You know what? We can start from the beginning to where David Washington was infiltrated into this. Who was the leader name? What was her name in the movie?
Nirmata.
Yeah, Normana.
Yeah, the creator.
And that's a cool name. But
Yeah, it sure is.
to me, I think instead of being stuck with that, they could have moved the narrative on to the more infiltrating, because the whole, to me, I would say this about the whole, the weapon thing was that much of a weapon. I mean,
Hmm.
really, truly, they never explained what the all the baby did was cut stuff off and on.
That's true. That
She was,
is
she was,
true.
she was pretty much a big clapper. She was expecting
Yeah.
just rub and slap the hands together and stuff cut off or cut off. She didn't program it. She did nothing. I didn't understand it. Uh, there was no reason to it. And like we talked about before, was she a cyborg? Was she a straight android?
Mm, I
They
would
didn't have
say, well, I would now that I think about everything, I would have to go on the side of cybernetic organism because clearly there was some things about it that was fleshly. You know what I'm saying? I would have to more so lean on the side of a cybernetic organism. You know what I'm saying? More so than an android. But then again, I don't understand, you know what I'm saying, the differences between the real differences between the two, other than cyborgs are cybernetic organisms and androids, you know, a little bit more on the robots, plain robot side, you
yeah,
know.
a cyborg is something that's biology based and have cyborg parts to it. You know,
Yeah.
they could be vice versa. You could be, I think, you could be more of an android with an android brain, but have human augmentations too. I think it goes
Hmm.
both ways, and you'd be called a cyborg technically. But
Yeah.
this one is,
Yeah.
you didn't understand because they say she grew, but and they had this thing about her being, the lady was working on embryos too. You saw that little embryo shot, and
Yeah.
and I think that's the stuff that they laid different storylines out there, but they didn't connect it to nothing.
Yeah.
Like we said, like I said, it's just like buying a suit that's not totally threaded right.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's not finished. So you see this nice suit, but you get it, and it's not even, it don't have no buttons.
Hmm.
It don't have any zippers. And I
Yep.
think that's the thing with this movie. It was like having a Maserati with a VW engine in it. It looks good, but the stuff that makes it really be a Maserati is the engine.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. I do think that it had a lot of issues going forth with the writing. I think the writing was very lazy.
Yeah, it was.
Um, I agree with other reviewers when they say they conveniently make certain characters bump into other characters just so they can push the story along instead of letting it occur organically. Now, see, this is where I say it suffers from lack of timing because there's no way you're going to be able to develop a movie the way it needs to be developed with just an hour and a half, stuff like that. It's hard to do it in 2 hours. That's why a lot of folks, go the 2 hour and a half mark. You can do it in 2 hours, but it just seemed like for this type of movie, you know, I was expecting 2 hours and a half. But also, like you said, they in this movie they could have cut some stuff out definitely. So there are some things that could have been cut out and then utilize that time to take away from it what was in it to add some more character development, some more world and story building. I definitely agree with that because there were a lot of shots that I saw that we really didn't damn need. Actually, we talked about this before. The character, that cyborg girl, we didn't need her. Like
Yeah.
the weapon, we didn't need her. I wholeheartedly agree with that. We did not need that character.
And
You
and,
know,
and and I'm always big into strategy and tactics. That's kind of my nuts and bolts with everything.
yeah,
Like say it's like, dude, they didn't even protect the character right.
no,
What kind of weapon she was that they could just walk in with how many people they had in their group? Maybe 6 people, I guess they had to infiltrate the base. They didn't have the minimum security there. And the security guards they had, it was like basic security guards what you get at Walmart.
yeah, exactly. They had nobody within the vault that she was in. They
Mm-mm.
had nothing, no security measure in there. They had, I didn't see anything on the outside, like right on the outside. I didn't see anything.
No,
You
they
know,
threatened the dog. They threatened the dog, and a person like moved the statue to open up the hatch. It's like this is like Indiana Jones type stuff.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
you move a rock and this ancient tomb open up, and it was just weird.
It was very weird. I thought a lot of it, like I said, they made a lot of things very convenient to move the story along.
Yeah,
And I think that's what hurt this movie a lot.
and it did.
It did. It really did hurt the movie. The movie was great. I thought the movie was very good. I thought the movie, and it had the potential to be great. The movie itself, it's what the movie was missing as far as lack of, creativity in the writing. The writing wasn't bad, but it needed more. The writing wasn't.
The writing really let it down because there were too many issues. For instance, one of my biggest issues was you supposed to be a super spy, and this girl, you see this girl blowed up, you know she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And he's easily tricked into going, I know about grief or whatever, but if you want them secret agents, you're hard.
Yeah.
So the explosion was bad enough that it took your arms and foot off.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and you're jacked up unless she was in the midst of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just come to you and say, hey, you know, here goes a bad Photoshop version of we have her. She's still walking around living. And he said, oh gee, like I said, it's convenient. That he's oh gee, let's go do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really. Or or the whole thing with the, you know, the colonel and the other dude get captured. When did they would talk about how the dude survived on that ship when that girl got exploded? You know, he just came out with a couple scratches, and they take them in custody, and they keep all their armor up.
Yeah.
and not only that, they don't even the people don't even know that these folks run around with their police unit.
Yep.
Now I know in our world, if you don't press that button to get in service, Tony, we get a call on the bed.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. We already know what's happening. You don't hit that in service button, you getting a call. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They hey, where you at?
Yeah, exactly.
And not only that, they only got to know where you at. They could look on a map and see where we at with the GPS.
Yep, exactly.
And how the heck can this so-called secret weapon don't even have a GPS on it? They don't even know what it was half the time.
It's rather crazy. It's rather crazy, man. You know, a lot of stuff in it that just didn't make a lot of sense. Yeah. You know, it was lacking. It was lacking. You know, they could have done better.
And even the docking on that big ship, that they won't allow you to dock. They didn't have no countermeasures to stop that ship from going up there.
No, they didn't.
It's like anytime you want to go to the main base, you just they could have just rammed the ship in there if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to build a secret weapon. Like he could have just built a good slingshot and threw it up there and stopped them.
Yeah. That's true. You know, like I said, you know, it was just it suffered from a lot of elements, you know, and I mean it's and across the board, people, you know, you see how people have noticed the things that have really, you know what I'm saying, caused this movie to really, you know, suffer.
Yeah.
You know, from these things. And I mean, like I said, I left the movie theater happy and stuff. Satisfied, huh? I can't really say I was satisfied. I can't really say that. I'm sorry, but you know, it's just one of them things, man. Because the movie had potential to be so much better than what it was.
Yeah, like we say, it's a movie that refused to be great.
Yeah, it does. It refuses to be great. It misses on a lot of notes. It misses on a lot of notes. You know? Yeah, I'm making a video. Yep. I tell you, man, and like I said, it's a movie that I don't think needs a sequel.
Nah.
No, I think, you know, it's a good standalone movie. And just, you know, I would love to see the guy that actually worked on this movie, the guy that did Rogue One. I would like to see him improve upon, you know, because was this an improvement upon Rogue One? Yeah, I do think it was an improvement upon Rogue One was excellent. I think this was good too, but wasn't great.
Yeah,
you know, so I think he's getting better.
And I think dude has a good sense of scale.
Yeah,
because
Definitely does.
he scaled it to just the scale up was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was. It was. I mean, this movie. That's what I'm saying. This movie was so grandiose, and I expected so much more within the story. I expected so much more from the story. But
Yeah,
this was so amazing how this was so simplistic.
yeah,
I mean, it was simple. You know what I mean? Easy to follow, and just go from. I mean, it's straight line. It was like you say, very linear,
yeah,
very linear,
linear.
very straight line. We're gonna go to point A to point B, then point B to point C.
Yeah,
It's just like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Very fast too. Very
Oh
fast.
yeah,
It
exactly.
it don't even got to make sense, but we got to get to that spot.
Yeah, exactly. They made it happen. That's the thing, and that's it was very forced because they pushed it along
Yeah,
for the sake of pushing the movie along, so they could just get the plot,
yeah,
move the plot along. And it's like I said, it's one of the things that's like why'd you do that? You didn't have to do that,
yeah.
but they did. They did. It is what it is, but it's unfortunate,
Yeah, hopefully that's like
but what you say?
what's that, brother?
I give it. I do give it 4 out of 5 stars, though.
Yeah,
But then again, you know, it was such a good movie. It's just damn. I mean, I don't blame anybody because it probably deserves more 3 out of 5. I think it does deserve more 3 out of 5 than
to,
4 out of 5.
to be honest, and I hate to be the hard case here, but it got so many strategic flaws that just make it bad.
Yeah.
At first I was like 4, but now I'm really like a 2.5.
Woo!
2.5 out
God
of 5.
damn, boy.
It's average. I mean,
I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a
yeah,
3. I will, woo, Lord, boy.
yeah. I'm
2 point.
sorry, Tony, and I'm sorry, David Washington, because you deserve more. Your acting was a 5, but
Yeah. Oh
what you
yeah.
had to work with was a 2.5.
Yeah.
In my
Yeah.
opinion, I respect your opinion because it's awesome. But for me, all the stuff that was just dangling there, a bunch of dangling participles just hanging out there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
It had a yeah.
it was just it just wasn't right.
And then no, I agree. Like I said, I do agree, man. And you can't. And that's why I look at my grading of the movie and I say, man, look, you can't go basing this damn thing just on visuals alone. I mean, you could have a lot of stuff visually, like incredible, but then be just terrible.
Yeah,
And the story beats and shit. Like I said, it was very simplistic. It really was, and that's not a bad thing.
yeah,
I just think the story and some of the character development, which ultimately goes hand in hand with story,
yeah.
was where we had the problems.
Because
I do. I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3.
yeah,
You
because
know,
I just feel like if you're gonna make it simple, you got to make it tight and simple.
yeah, make it tight and
You
simple.
got to
Though
have
I
it tight.
agree.
You got to have it tight where you're not saying, how did that happen? Oh, how this little girl a secret weapon which all she got to do is there was no dread in her.
Yeah, yeah,
There was no. I
yeah.
mean,
There wasn't no thread. Excuse me. There wasn't any dread. She didn't come off as something that we really needed to worry about. She
nah,
really didn't. I mean, all like you said, all she did was cut shit off. She put her hands together and turned the lights off. That's
yeah,
all she did. Every time something happened, she put her hands together and the lights went off. And it's
and
like, oh shit, the
and
lights just went off.
and I hate that people say how much they borrow from other stuff, but they really did because people was looking at it like, oh, that's a baby AI. They like never
Mm-hmm.
seen it before, so it makes you think of Blade Runner.
Oh yeah.
Whole thing about the the androids having children. You
Yeah.
know,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
that had you had a dread as a human being, and even to the point where they was talking about the evolution, and that's another thread they didn't follow up through.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is evolution, but they didn't do nothing with it though.
Nope.
So we was left with those threads that were just laying there without being attached to anything.
Yeah. Yep. We sure was. Now that we were. That
And
we
to
were.
me, that just brings it down. Like it was one of the better movies I've seen lately. What's the
Mm-hmm.
latest? What's the last movie I went to see on the theater? I don't remember the last movie I went to the theater.
Last movie I went to see in the theater was Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, and they can't touch that one. That's one I saw with the
No,
kids.
it ain't coming that damn close to that. Honestly, it's saying,
Yeah, so
you
the
know.
Spider-Man was something where people was, you know what, dude? The only drama that was really in the movie theater when somebody came in and tried to steal somebody's seats in the movie theater. That was the only real trauma, the only real crazy thing I saw in the theater because we were like, oh, is somebody gonna pull out a gun? Somebody gonna get their butt beat? They give you that. I'm gonna remember more about the people fighting over some seats in an almost empty theater than the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Fighting over seats in the theater nearly damn empty, boy.
Yeah, it wasn't even 50% full.
Damn. And they fighting over the damn seat.
And they fighting over it, man. You go like, dude, come on. When, but
damn,
yeah,
boy.
But we'll end it here. We're gonna try to get this stuff up again, and hopefully you guys will kind of go with us and join the conversation on the comments down. What you think of the movie? Did you thought it was a well-written movie, or did it just rely on being pretty?
Yeah, exactly. Let us know exactly what y'all think, because I will say I think it did rely more on being pretty.
Yeah.
I think it did. And it's like, you might get some little kids with that, but I'm like, you're not aiming at, children
Exactly.
with this audience. You're aiming at adults now. You got to give us a little more than that.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Comment in the comment section and let us know.
Yeah, y'all be safe. All right, Tony. Good job, brother.
All right, man.
All right.